You might have been bitten by a mozzie before and ended up with an annoying itch, which eventually goes away. But some countries have mosquitoes that can carry a disease called malaria, and that can make you really sick. For years, scientists have looked at ways to stop people getting it. Now a new vaccine could hold the answer. Here's Tash.
A mozzie has got you in its sights. It's preparing for a delicious meal of your yummy blood. But sometimes a little bite can leave you with more than just an itch. That's because some mozzies carry a deadly disease called malaria. Now, you can't get malaria here in Australia, but in Africa it's the biggest killer of kids under 5. Every 45 seconds, a child there dies from the disease. It can also be found in some parts of Asia and South America, especially where the weather's hot and humid. Malaria is a parasite, which means it's a tiny bug that lives off other living things. So when it gets into your blood, it jumps into these big red blobs, which are red blood cells. The smaller dots are the parasites, which feed off the cells, multiply out of control, and make your body stop working. It can take more than a week for symptoms to kick in, like fever, vomiting, and shivering. And if it's not treated, it can lead to death. People get it from infected mosquitoes, and that's also how it's spread. If a mozzie bites someone with malaria, it can spread the disease to the next person it bites. The mozzie actually passes the disease on through its saliva. Stephen got malaria while spending time in Indonesia, and he nearly died. You'd think that would put him off mosquitoes for life, but instead he decided to take on a career researching all about mozzies.
All around the world there's about 3,500 different types of mosquitoes, but this one here can carry malaria, this type of mosquito. And they don't carry malaria in Australia, but this type of mosquitoes overseas do cause a lot of damage around the world.
So luckily we don't have the problem in Australia, but for people living in other countries, there are ways to reduce the risk of getting malaria from mosquitoes. There are simple steps like covering up, sleeping under mozzie nets and wearing mozzie repellent. Then there's malaria tablets. They're used more by tourists than by locals. That's because you have to keep taking them either daily or weekly. And that can be very expensive, particularly for people in poor countries. That's why lots of people are excited about a recent scientific breakthrough. A new malaria vaccine has been developed in Britain, which it's claimed could save millions of lives. It was given to babies in Africa, and the results show that the kids' chances of getting malaria were halved. It's an exciting new development, but it'll need to be tested more and could take a few years to be approved. The question then will be if it's affordable to the people and the countries who will need it the most.